Hi friends, today we talk about why don't we do the things we say we will do? That's the big question we are answering today. And the most common response to that question is sijiski. But the sad truth is that hatutawahi jisikia kufanya kila kitu, sindio? Our bodies want what is easy and comfortable. And most of the times when we do what is needed, we normally forego something that is easy and fun. Our bodies are always on a battle, between what we should be doing and what is easy for us to do, what actually we don't need to be doing. Say for example, you decide to write an article, you might feel so sleepy and the battle is between now you writing an article and sleeping. And it's so sad that most of the time sleep wins. And honestly, there's no easier way to go about dreams and ambitions. It comes at a cost. Some have had it lucky because they grew up in a wealthy family, but you've heard of stories where maybe someone was handed money from like a generational kind of wealth, and then they didn't take care of it, and somehow that money was just wasted, and there's no much to tell about that person now, right? So the reality still is that even this person has to work to retain that money that they got, that was handed down to them. Putting in the work has no alternative, guys. And I think this is one thing we need to make peace with, like as early as now, because our bodies will not choose what is hard. It's on rare occasions that happens. If you truly know that something is important to you and for you, and it's the path that you are choosing to take, you have to numb yourself to doing the thing that gets you to that place. There's no shortcut. We have to numb ourselves to it. For me, the message of personal growth and development is a message that I feel strongly about and want to share with as many people as I can. And that comes with recording videos, these videos that you watch here on YouTube. One of the biggest things that I have had to nab myself to is editing videos, because one video can take up to even 4 hours to edit. But now I knew this is something that come rain, come shine, it has to be done for the video to be up. So I have had to force myself to edit the video so that it's up by the time that it's supposed to, and that is normally on Tuesdays and Fridays. Since editing has no option, I have to do it. I have decided to break down my editing sessions into different parts so that I don't feel overwhelmed by the 4 hours of doing it. So I'll break down the video into like 4 parts depending on how long it is, and then edit one part today, the next one tomorrow, and so on. That one has made it easier, but I had to embrace the fact that editing is not going anywhere and it has to be done for the video to be up. So even embracing the thought of doing that thing alone is not enough. Action has to be put in. Do what you're supposed to do until you are numb to it. As long as you understand that this thing only gets me to what I want to do, to the bigger picture. The second thing that would cause us not to do what you want to do is because the reason for doing it is not convincing enough. One of my favorite YouTubers to watch is Wodemaya. He's from Ghana, and he's all about changing the African narrative and exposing the beauty of Africa to the world. In one interview he had, you could see the passion with which he does what he does, and he admitted that sometimes even being in front of the camera is annoying, and sometimes he wishes he doesn't have to do it, but when he remembers the bigger picture, he shows up for that anyway. So people are inspired by different things. Others are inspired by having come from poverty, and it's not a place they would want to go back to. I guess then this calls for a lot of introspection. Ask the deep questions. Ask, why should I do what I want to do? If it's not convincing enough for you, chances are you won't see the need to keep pursuing it. The third thing that would happen is that sometimes we lack focus and we get distracted. One powerful thing I have had is that you can't say you are distracted from something if you can't point out what you are distracted from. So if you spend the whole day on your phone and in the evening you're like, I didn't edit the video because I got distracted by my phone. But now the thing is, you didn't schedule the editing bit. It was just an open day for you. It was just a blank day. So anything can come in really. So you can't say that you are distracted unless you can point the thing that you are distracted from. And we get distracted because we are trying to reach out for something comfortable and something that will bring about the happy hormones. Scrolling on social media is fun and it's satisfying, and that is one of the things that distracts us. But here is a light bulb moment. If you make an allocation for that in your schedule, it won't be a distraction anymore. So if you say you're going to scroll social media between 2 to 3 p.m., then that is not wasted time, because, or rather even a distraction, because it was allocated for. So instead of saying we didn't do something because we got distracted, why not account for that distraction so that then it's in your schedule and it's planned for, and then when it comes, it will just be something that was part of the day for you to do. Does that make sense? It allows us time to focus on what is needed, because we know that at the end of the day we also get time for social media. In summary, we will not always want to do everything. However, when the why for doing that thing is so clear, you have to numb yourself. Just numb yourself for a day and do what gets you closer to the why. So do that for a day, and then tomorrow wake up and do the same thing and numb yourself to doing what needs to get you to the why, because there's no shortcut. So do that for day 3 and 4 until you beat the flesh, and then make room for any distraction so that you don't feel like you're missing out on something. Our bodies have a bad way of responding to the feeling of being denied something. Once it gets what it wanted, sometimes it can go all out, and even it might be difficult to tame it back to how it was before. And the distractions I'm talking about are things like social media, movies, video games. I'm just putting it out there because distraction is relative, really. To close us off, I leave you with the wise words of Paul, and he writes a letter to the Ephesians in chapter 3:20. He tells them, "Now unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly, more than we can ask or even imagine, according to his power that is at work within us." And what that means is that we can do anything because the power of God is in us. It's at work within us. It's not at work anywhere else. It's at work within us. So we have the power to do what we should do. We have it. You just have to believe that so strongly. And the thing with believing is that if you believe alone and not do, then it's not impactful, because we also know that faith without action is dead. Believe it. Believe that you have the power to do it. Numb yourself to the actions that need to get you to the why, and account for the distraction, because we've already agreed that there is no shortcut to achieving, the dreams and the goals. That's all I had for us today. Thank you for watching. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, and please subscribe in case you have not yet. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers, and see you in one of my other videos. Peace.